Hello, and I'm going to show you how to rotate a box. Now, to start off, I made two parallel lines. This is just to orient our box. We don't need these, you could do without. This is just for like the tutorial purpose. Effectively, like I could just hide that on the layer if I wanted to. So we're going to go from here, rotate the box, and basically like we're just rotating one side to the other side. So like from here all the way like to the starting point again. But if you think of a box as having 6 sides, you could think of like this is side 1, this is side 1, this is side 2, and this is side 2. So it's like, yeah, we're rotating a box, but it's another side of that box. It's not the same side, it's a different side, because even this box right here, we have to think about it in 3D space. So like if you have it here, here's your box. It's still like we're looking at it as if like it's completely at eye level. So you could think of it like that, and you could think of like the sun in the background here. And you know, you're looking straight on at it, and effectively like this box has a depth. Like it may or may not be visible, but it definitely has a depth to it. So like drawing that, it has 6 sides, even though you may not be able to see all of them, because as it is now, we can only see the front side. We can't, you know, we only have one pair of eyes. And effectively, like, you know, we're only seeing side 1 here, and let's say like side 2 is not really visible to us. Let's say side 3 is in the back wall, side 4 is here, let's say side 5 is the top, and side 6 is the bottom. And effectively, like, we could only see side 1. Only side 1 is visible. We can't see the other sides. So, starting off between my 2 parallel lines here, I'm just going to draw, like, the front side, starting off with just 1. Just a word of warning, this is kind of just for demonstration purposes here. I'm going to be a bit sloppy. My apologies for that. I mean, I could like use a straight tool, but I kind of feel like that is not always the best reflection of reality when we're trying to do this. So, okay, we have a front box here. You know, this is 1. And we want to show 2. But there's a whole array of possibilities between side 1 and side 2 as we're rotating it. So it kind of goes like this, right? When we have side 1 and we're turning it right, so like we're moving this box, like we're taking number 1 and we're moving it to the right, like rotating it in 3D space while it's still on like the same axis. It'll still be on like eye level, middle is like the horizon, and effectively we could just start off by drawing a line. It's kind of how I like to think about it from the get-go. And obviously when we're turning it right, more of side 1 is going to be visible than side 2, because you know we're just starting to rotate it. So effectively, I'm trying to line this up to the best of my ability. So we basically have that. Sorry, I'm not. Yeah. Wow, I'm being really bad today. I will get better. Trust me. I could redo this line as much as I need to. I did warm up today, if you're wondering, but perhaps I need more of a warm up. So this is side 1, and now we need to show just like a little bit of side 2, because like this is like the first stage of doing that rotation. And I rely on Control Z way too much, way more than I should. I mean, I'm trying to be perfect when I already said that I was going to be sloppy. But, okay, we got side 1 and side 2 here. So great, this is like the initial turn. But, you know, as we go, we're going to be seeing both, like, a little bit of both sides evenly at one point in time, because it's like the point in which, like, you're seeing the corner of, like, well, you know, like 2 corners here. So this isn't going to be perfect, but I'm going to try. And I know this isn't perfect, but for this example, we're just going to assume that side 1 is equal, like we're seeing the same planes, like the exact same, like they're both even in this case, even though I'm probably a little off because I'm kind of freehanding this. So this is side 1, this is side 2, and we could see both sides of it. So it's like we're almost done with that rotation, but not yet. So now at this point, it's going to be like, you could think of it like an overtake. Because now we're going to see more of side 2 more than of side 1. So I just want to make a point. Side 1 and side 2, like this is a box. We're going to assume like the dimensions are all equal. They were always equal to each other. It's just like the visible portion. Because like just like the visible, it's the visibility. So to go back to this point, this is side 2, this is side 1. I'm gonna undo that because I'm going a bit extreme here with the axis. So effectively, so great. Now more like the visibility of side 2 is more visible than, or you could, I guess you could say greater than. I hate to put it in math terms because they're the same, but basically the visibility of side 2 is more visible than side 1 here. So like we're just seeing more of side 2. And look, we've almost finished this rotation. Because effectively, when we're at this point and we rotate it a little bit more, and we rotate a little bit more, only side 2 is visible. Side 1 is like, basically, it's still there. So like I'll do that example that I did before. It's a bit rough. Please just bear with me for the purpose of an example. Oh, wow, okay. And we're just going with this really roughness here. So only side 2 is visible. Only side 2 is visible, and if we had, like, if we could view stuff from multiple angles, if that was possible, which, I mean, I don't know, if you had, like, a bunch of cameras pointed in different places, you could. Effectively, this is side 1, that's side 2, and, you know, kind of going etc. with how we went before. So we started here, we started rotating the box right, and we rotated it until only side 2 is visible. So that's how far we went with it here. If you wanted to, you can just as well go the other way, and effectively what you would be doing is you're just like mirroring it. Like, well, yeah, I guess you could say if you're at side 1 and you want to show, like, we kind of defined it as side 4 here. I probably should have made it 3, but oh well. If we want to view side 4, you pretty much just, it's basically like a mirroring. I mean, maybe that's not the best way to think of it. You could, if it helps. So, effectively, this is like side 4 from here. And I hope I'm doing this right. Am I totally blanking here? No, I'm good. So yeah, this is side 1. That's side 1. We're rotating it to the left. So like now, we're all going to the left. Which I would not always think about, like, you're not always going to be able to handle it in the easiest way. I mean, we're assuming these are both even. Just don't mind my horrible lack of judgment with these sizes here. But effectively, yeah, if you would go through the same thing and you were rotating it left, you would eventually get to the point in which only side 4 is visible. So the other point that I wanted to make here is that between the first side and like this like first little initial rotation, this is like an extreme. Like this box here is like an extreme rotation. Like if we were doing something for like animation, you would there's a thing called in-betweens, which if you just think of it, just know that like when you're doing this initial rotation, like there are a whole bunch of frames. There's like an array of existing frames between like, if I believe I'm doing this right, it's like between this point and this point. And you would effectively try to like fill them in, think about how it's rotating, do all the individual lines. So it's just like an array of in-between boxes. So it's up to you to decide how many you want to do. I'm not trying to cover all of animation here, but just try to know that there are in-betweens here. And even though like this one here is the extreme, you could also think of it as like a keyframe, because this is like the key. Like we started at 1 and we wanted to get to that initial rotation so we could show a little bit of side 2 and more of side 1 to kind of show that like we were beginning to rotate this. So yeah, I'm gonna have the article on my website soon. I'll paste it in the description. I haven't finished completing the webpage for that, but that'll have like all of this broken down. I'll also have the parallel lines here, so if you wanted to like download it, you can. So you can try to practice the same concepts. Just know that like the parallel lines here were just for the purpose of demonstration purposes. I really don't recommend that you would use it if you're trying to do practice. I mean, it could be beneficial, but I would leave that up to you to decide. I wouldn't use it as a crutch. I think being able to freehand it, or I guess eye it, is the best way to go about it here. But thanks for listening.